Hey there, and welcome to another trip report. Today, I'm checking out Toronto's Billy Bishop City Airport, flying Air Canada Express to Montreal. The city airport is located on the Toronto Islands and largely serves the commuter crowd, with flights operated by Porter Airlines and Air Canada Express to short-haul destinations in Eastern Canada and the US. Air Canada Express only operates 2 routes from the island airport as of summer 2024, with services to Ottawa and Montreal. Accessing the airport is easy, with a complimentary shuttle service from Union Station to the mainland terminal building, taking 15 minutes. Once you reach the mainland building, you can access the airport terminal by walking through the underwater tunnel or using the complimentary ferry that runs every 15 minutes. An airport on the water definitely has a neat feel to it. The tunnel takes about 5 minutes with moving walkways to speed up the journey, and at the end of it you pop up on the arrivals level. Heading upstairs to the departures level, up here we have check-in counters and 2 separate security screening checkpoints, one for the US-bound gate area and the other for domestic flights. Most of the space is dominated by Porter, with 2 counters at the end for Air Canada Express, right next to the domestic security screening checkpoint. Air Canada Express is the regional subsidiary carrier for Air Canada that operates short feeder flights to their hub airports. Its operations are entirely subcontracted out to smaller regional carriers, with Jazz Aviation and PAL Airlines operating all of their flights as of summer 2024. The Air Canada check-in area consists of 2 self-serve kiosks with 2 staffed counters for extra assistance, including a priority line for status holders. At the kiosks, you can print off your boarding pass and baggage tag, and then take your bag up to the agent to drop it off. Both check-in and domestic security are super quiet this evening, with both taking 10 minutes altogether. One of the major pros of using the island airport for short flights is that it's often much quicker to navigate compared to Toronto's Pearson Airport. Heading down to the gate area from security, the domestic waiting area is a large circular-shaped space with a restaurant, coffee shop, and a store grouped near the escalators from security screening, and the outer perimeter of the area lined with gates. There are 11 gates in the domestic section and a couple different seating options, with some high table seating, booths, and lounger chairs filling the floor area throughout the waiting space. My flight is using Gate 1 today, boarding through Door C. Air Canada Express boards their flights by assigned zone number, with Zone 1 for Aeroplan Super Elite members, Zone 2 for Star Alliance Gold members and all other Aeroplan Elite status members, and Zones 3 and up for economy class passengers without status. Taking a look at the aircraft taking me over to Montreal today, I'll be on board this 8-year-old Bombardier -8 Q400 that was delivered new to Jazz Aviation in November 2015 and operates on behalf of Air Canada Express. Air Canada Express has 50 Q400 aircraft operating under its banner, with 39 of those operated by Jazz and the remaining 11 operated by PAL. After scanning my boarding pass, I headed down to the aircraft. On their flights to and from Toronto Island Airport, Air Canada Express offers their SkyCheck service, which allows customers to gate check their standard-sized carry-on bags free of charge at the aircraft door, and collect them on arrival at the aircraft door as well. No need to go to baggage claim, and the bags arrive super fast after arrival. This service is offered because of the limited overhead bin space on some of Air Canada Express's Q400 planes. After dropping off my rollerboard bag, let's check out the cabin. Air Canada Express's Q400 aircraft are in an all-economy class configuration, with 74 seats in total, arranged in a 2x2 layout. I'm booked in seat 16A for today's flight, which is a window seat on the left side of the aircraft. If you're picking your seat, it's worth noting that rows 10 through 14 have pretty limited views from the window because of the wing and engine that are blocking the way. The seats have a blue leather surface and are rather thick, with a pretty outdated feel. There are no entertainment screens on board, but that shouldn't be an issue for such a short flight.
Destination, if your luggage is too large to fit anywhere, bring it forward after boarding.
Taking a look at the cabin storage space, this aircraft has moderately sized overhead bins that are able to take most standard sized roller bags. Space under the seat is pretty tight since the cabin is narrow and curves near the floor, but my large backpack fit with no issue, though that didn't leave a whole lot of room for my feet. Settling into the seat, the standard economy class seats on board have a width of 17 inches and a pitch of 31 inches, which at my height of 5'10" gives me an inch or two to spare for my knees. Looking around the seat a bit more, we have a tray table which folds out from the seat back in front and is mounted on adjustable rails. Below the tray table, we have the seat back pocket for storing the provided materials and any of your own items. Looking at what we have here, there's the safety information card for this aircraft type and a couple air sickness bags. On the side of the seat backs, there are also hooks for hanging your jacket. There are no AC or USB charging outlets at these seats, and no Wi-Fi available on board either. Looking at the overhead panel above the seat, up here we have personal reading lights and adjustable air vents for each seat, as well as the attendant call button. With the SkyCheck bags getting loaded up last, we're almost ready to go, with the expected flight time between the island airport and Montreal right around an hour.
Should an emergency happen, rest your head and chest into your lap. Grasp your ankles or wrap your arms under your legs. Or cross your arms across the seat back in front of you. Seatbelts and no smoking signs are located throughout the aircraft. Please obey them at all times.
Climbing away from the Toronto Islands with prime views of the Toronto skyline, 15 minutes after takeoff, the cabin crew started their in-flight service. On these flights between Toronto Billy Bishop and Montreal, Air Canada Express offers complimentary beer and wine, along with premium full-size snacks, with choices including Kit Kats, Miss Vicky's potato chips, Made Good granola bars, and Biscoff cookies. This is a unique offering to Air Canada Express flights out of the island airport in an effort to compete with Porter, who offers the same on all of their routes. Air Canada, however, doesn't seem to be serving their drinks in real glassware, so Porter still has the upper hand on that. Getting up to explore the cabin, there's one lavatory on board, which is located at the front of the aircraft. Stepping inside, it's pretty cramped, and I did a double take when I realized that there's no sink. Indeed, there's no running water on board these Q400s, meaning we have a bottle of hand sanitizer in place of a sink and soap. Back at my seat, with no Wi-Fi or charging outlets, I'm feeling thankful that this is a short hop, and for that purpose, these aircraft are pretty perfect. But anything longer, and I'd be wishing that there were some more modern amenities, starting with a sink in the bathroom. One of the major cons of flying Air Canada Express from the island is that you're stuck with the Q400 aircraft regardless, which means a lot of noise and a lot of vibration.
Bienvenue à Montréal, il est présentement 19h57 dans local, veuillez rester assis. Avec vos ceintures attachées, bagages bien rangés jusqu'à ce que le commandant intègre la consigne de ceinture de sécurité. Il est interdit de fumer, les fonctions de réception et transmission de vos appareils mobiles sont maintenant permises. Avant de quitter l'avion, assurez-vous d'avoir avec vous tous vos appareils électroniques portatifs.
After touching down at Montreal's Trudeau Airport, we're now taxiing over to park at the domestic concourse. The SkyCheck bags are getting pulled off first and onto the cart for collection when we disembark. I have to say that this service is one of my favorite features of this route, making the connection between Canada's two largest cities feel like you're flying into a small remote airport with none of the hassle of a big baggage claim haul and having to wait for your bags to arrive. Thanks for joining me for this trip report, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now for some comments on the experience of flying Air Canada Express from Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport. This service is working hard to take back the stronghold that Porter has on this route. Air Canada has taken some notes from Porter, namely the premium snacks and complimentary alcohol, which aren't offered on any of their other North American routes, to make the service experience more similar to that provided by Porter. While I can appreciate this, it does feel a bit petty, and I wish Air Canada would expand that offering to their other domestic and transborder routes. Nonetheless, this connection between Toronto Island and Montreal is simple and quick, but I'll stop short of saying comfortable given the rattle of the Q400.